Welcome back to Just an Electric Show. Jeff Darlington told Rich Eisen that Buffalo was interested in future Patriot DeAndre Hopkins, but only at a discount. The Bills love DeAndre Hopkins, and he'd be a great addition, but they're not going to pay him. If he wants to ring chase, there's a spot for him. I'd love to go to the Maldives, too, but I have $500. It's not going to happen.
Also, the yacht doesn't travel that far, to be honest.
It's a sailboat.
Okay, sorry.
Should Chiefs fans be scared of the Bills if future Patriot DeAndre Hopkins winds up on the Bills?
Scared is strong.
Yeah.
Concerned?
Oh, stop it.
Disquieted?
Disquieted.
A tad uneasy? Sure.
Stop it.
For two reasons, Nick, and you know I'm going to be
I'm
right.
just smiling
Number
'cause you're
one,
funny, not because I.
if DeAndre Hopkins goes to the Bills for less money, you know why he's going? To reestablish his value by having a great year in helping a team get to a Super Bowl. Yeah. That would be why he's going. And my, oh my, what a receiving core.
Bro.
DeAndre Hopkins, Stephon Diggs.
That's the end of it.
Gabe Davis.
Gabe Davis is not very good.
He had 4 touchdowns
in one game 2 years ago.
It was impressive. Dawson Knox, not a bad tight end.
Yeah, they drafted his replacement.
And one of the I don't even want to say weaknesses of the Chiefs.
There are none.
The defensive backfield is mediocre.
Well, it played a bunch of rookies. We'll see.
Okay, Sneed's to go probably improve.
The best.
Sure. But they were mediocre last year. We'll see if they make a jump. But that's number one.
Yeah.
Number two, there is an element of sameness to these Bills, right? The expectations are high. Oh, they're supposed to get to the Super Bowl, finally win it. And they're saying, yeah, but we're the same team that's been bounced in the divisional round the last couple years. Yeah. If you bring in D-Hop, that's just the shot in the arm that they would need in the locker room to be like, we are different now. We added a great receiver, maybe a future Hall of Fame receiver. Yeah. Now we're about to do some damage. So I think it would give them an emotional boost. And Stephon Diggs, if the reports are true, that one of the reasons or maybe the main reason he's upset is that they didn't sign DeAndre Hopkins. Maybe, if it's true, maybe you squash that beef right then and there, you got a happy Stephon Diggs.
I think that could be true. It also could be true that this would make it worse with Stephon Diggs because of less targets his way. But you know what? Let's just call it. I'm saying
I don't trust Wild.
No, of course. But you know what? Let's take the Stephon Diggs emotional response to this out of it because it could be positive, it could be negative. Mm-hmm. This iteration of the Bills missed their window. We need to admit it. We need to recognize it. We need to say we have seen this happen before. Post-Super Bowl, the decade, the Saints were right there every year. The Packers, the last decade, right there every year. The Titans, the last 5 years, were right there. They made a conference championship game. They're going to break through. The Steelers, post-2010, right there every year and never broke through. Guys.
But the window was open.
Yeah, well, no, we thought it was. It clearly wasn't.
Really?
They never, and forget win a Super Bowl, never got to them.
The window for Aaron Rodgers.
It evidently
in those MVP years, the window wasn't open.
Seemed pretty shut to me.
It's open. The window was
That's
open.
what I'm saying.
Right, but
it's still open. They may not run through it, but it's open.
Through the window?
You climb through the window. You break down the door. You climb through the window. That's how it works. Listen, guys. The Bills have such a better chance of being far worse next year than being far better. And that's the key here. 2 years ago, you could make the argument, we don't have to get better to win the Super Bowl. We have to be better for 13 seconds. But we were good enough to win the Super Bowl in 2021, we being Buffalo. You can't make that argument this year. They were not good enough. Their quarterback, the second half of the year, was below average. Their defense fell apart in the playoffs again. Their coaching staff now has had some upheaval, if you will. And the one secret weapon they were supposed to have this past season was, you know what? They might actually have the best quarterback in football. No.
Well, we know.
Hold on wait a second, Wilds. You can't act like people weren't saying that. 100% that was the discussion. 100% Guys, we can pull the tapes. Not of this show. I know you picked him for MVP, but you weren't saying he was the best quarterback in football. He was QB1 across, it was almost the conventional wisdom, but set that aside. He's now more likely, forget top 1, it's on the board. He's not considered top 5 at the end of the year because Mahomes is there.
Well, he certainly is
Burrow
right now.
it's close. Because it's Mahomes and Burrow are locked in. Jalen Hurts, a lot of people feel like have jumped him in the line. That's 3. That's only room then for top 5 guys, 2 names. So on the list of available names, the Prince, Lamar.
Nobody's putting the Prince in there except you.
Well, just wait a second. The Prince, Lamar, Justin Herbert, Aaron Rodgers, and Josh Allen. That's all.
That's still Josh Allen.
That's okay.
I think he's universally regarded in the top 5.
I think he is right now. I agree.
Okay,
I'm saying I don't know that that's how the season ends with it. So add DeAndre. Don't add DeAndre. That doesn't.
Well, what you said is they don't have to get better. That's what they were saying 2 years ago. Now they do.
Yeah.
If you add DeAndre Hopkins, if Von Miller's healthy, who's already on the roster, you're better.
But Von Miller was on the roster to start last year.
Yeah, but he got hurt.
Right.
If he's healthy, they're better in the playoffs.
Can I show you the full screen?
Please.
This is the problem.
Yeah, sure.
And I know you're a LeBron guy, but you said something.
Says who?
You said something interesting a few weeks ago, and I jotted it down in my notebook. It was so rare. You were like, "This is betting against Michael Jordan while in the midst of the three-peat." You're just not beating Patrick Mahomes. You're just not. And anybody choosing anyone other than Patrick Mahomes or other than the Chicago Bulls would be the parallel, is just wrong. Like, you have to dethrone the guy, and he's not giving it up.
He's
first in
clearly
everything.
the best
They're just the best. They're the best team.
But in football, when's the last three-peat?
Generational.
The last 2-peat, back-to-back would be 20 years.
You're talking about, the Chiefs aren't going to win it every year.
Correct. But the problem I actually believe that. The Chiefs aren't going to win every year. They are going to win it the next 2 years. They'll be the first team to three-peat. But go ahead.
Really?
Yeah, they're going to be the first team to three-peat. And then Kelsey will retire,
then
we'll see. But, but set that aside real quick.
I wouldn't be mad.
The problem for Buffalo is they are not the first draft pick of the team you would pick to beat them anymore. I'm not sure they're the second draft pick.
Who's the
I'm
second
not
draft
sure
pick?
they're the first draft
Probably
pick.
Cincinnati.
No, Cincinnati's the first draft pick.
Cincinnati's the first draft pick. Right now,
I like Baltimore.
Patriots?
Or are we only doing AFC?
Yeah.
I'm not even
Eagles?
certain the Bills. I'm not certain the Bills are going to go into the year and a month in we're going to say they're the best team in their division, much less the best team in the AFC. But speaking of the division, can I ask you a question, Kevin Wiles?
Oh, here we go.
At this point, has it reached the insulting phase?
Okay.
DeAndre Hopkins visited the Patriots 4 weeks ago today.
Yeah, who did he sign
It's
with?
been a month. Well, exactly.
They threw everything at him.
Who did he sign with?
He has signed with no one.
They
That's
gave
the
him
point.
everything.
Is he taking more visits?
Can I just ask?
He doesn't. Nobody else even needs a visit.
Can I just ask this
Just a
question?
phone call will do.
I just want to ask Wiles this question. I know you're the one who asked the questions. We can switch seats for a moment if you'd like. What would it say about your team if DeAndre signed with the Bills for $3 million?
I don't think he would do that.
But what would it, if it happened,
let's
what would
play
it
along.
say about?
You want me to play along with the hypothetical?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it would say that DeAndre Hopkins doesn't believe in Bill Belichick as much as he probably should.
You don't think it would say anything about the guy throwing him the football?
Mac Jones?
Yeah.
Throws a pillowy ball. He does.
Okay.
I think
Do you still believe you're getting him?
Here's why I think this segment doesn't have a lot of legs, this particular question. Mm-hmm. I am 100% positive that DeAndre Hopkins is coming to the Patriots. Down to the marrow of my bones. That's how confident I am. So I know you want me to play hypotheticals, but I would have an easier time thinking like, Wilds, if you sprouted a tail,
so then why
how would that affect your balance?
Why
So I would have more
signed?
fun playing with that. I don't quite know.
Okay.
But
I
I'm
don't
quite
want
confident.
to.
He hasn't signed anywhere else.
Well, you're
He's
right.
waiting.
That would end the discussion. Him
I-
signing
right.
somewhere else would not just be.
Should I bring
I'm
out the
wildly
illustration
confident.
again?
I'm actively thinking right now what I can do on television so that Lori can clip it off once DeAndre Hopkins signs, so we can have a big celebration.
We already have the clip if he doesn't sign.
Yeah,
that?
I'm
You
100%.
with the red faces and the smoke coming up is upset.
That was a doctor.
That's
It was a doctored video.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.